Do it live. I'll write it and we'll do it live.
So to get that perfect barbecue, you use wood. Are you sure it's safe? Whatever. We put the lighter fluid on, strike the match, and oh! Should we call the fire department? That might be a good idea.
All right, good evening and welcome to the Really Big Barbecue Central Show. This is the show that talks about all things that are important to the world of barbecue and grilling. The show originating from the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame city, Bomb City, USA, Cleveland, Ohio, the barbecue capital of the North Coast. I'm your program host, Greg Rempe. Happy to have you aboard here on your Tuesday evenings, a live fire, fun, and frivolity show. If you'd like to get in contact with the show this evening, or you would like to follow the show during off-show hours, here's how you do it.
You can get in touch with the show by sending an email to Greg at bbqcentralshow.com. Follow us on all the social media channels at BBQ Central Show. And be sure to subscribe to the show podcast feed on your favorite podcast platform.
Anything else you want to find out about the show can be found at the main website, thebbqcentralshow.com. And here's what's happening in case you didn't get the newsletter. Joining me in about 12 minutes from now, second time on the show. If you got the newsletter, you already got the heads up. Two names only, Steve and Susnik. National Guardist, live fire passionado, dater of my middle daughter, and sometimes live fill-in host of this show, Maddi Rempe. So Steve is jumping in tonight first. Interview segment off the top of the show, 9:14. Who knows what we're going to be talking about with Steve, but I can guarantee you it will be intense, it will be insightful, it will be elaborative, and fun. I think that's about all of the adjectives I can think of at the moment. So 14 past the hour, Steve Susnik, or should I say shortly. And then after Steve, longtime friend of the show, longtime sponsor of the show, and one of the manufacturers of one of the highest rated wireless thermometers currently available on the market, Ted Conrad from Fireboard. After talking with Barbecue Lab last week, figured it was time to have Ted back on as we get ready to close out the year. Wait, I'm going to sneeze. That's never happened before, ever in the history of the show. I don't even know why did that even happen? Never I'm evaluating, seeing if this is like a allergy attack at the worst possible time. No, I think we're going to be all right. One-off sneeze out of the middle of nowhere. Figured we'd have Ted come on the show as the year is rapidly coming to a close. 6 weeks or so, probably less than that. Maybe right around 6 weeks, 5 weeks. Get a pulse update, make sure everybody's happy with their pulse, answer some other questions, talk about new stuff or stuff that might be coming down the pike. So Ted Conrad at 35 past the first hour, and then we'll move to the second hour. Fourth Tuesday of the month brings the hotly anticipated, never duplicated Embedded Correspondents monthly segment. Doug Scheiding from Texas, John Solberg from Michigan, Matt Osman from Tennessee, and our pal Rusty Monson from the great city of Utah, all joining us here as we get ready to do what will be the last live Embedded Correspondent here in 2024. We will have one next month, but it is really going to be tough to not only do one, but the last two shows of the year, considering Tuesday is the 24th of January, and Tuesday the following week is the 31st. Sorry, December. And the Tuesday following Christmas Eve is New Year's Eve. Thought long and hard about it and said, I don't want to throw caution to the wind all the time and just go ahead. These seem to be over many other holidays, and we've done plenty of holidays on this show. Done the holiday during the day through the balance of the evening, and then showed up at 9 o'clock and done a regular live show. Done it many times over many decades. I don't remember the last time we've had the show fall on both Christmas Eve and New Year's Eve. It is a fool's paradise, and people are leading me down a primrose path most of the time, but not this time. I will make sure that there is new content going into the feed those Tuesdays, but there will not be live shows those last 2 weeks of December, which would be Tuesday the 24th and Tuesday the 31st, for obvious reasons. So if you need your live fire fix, you will have it. It will just be new content in podcast form only. There will not be live shows those last 2 weeks. So that's how the show is laying out here this evening. Coming up in about 8 minutes from now, Steve Susnik, and then 35 past the first hour, Ted Conrad from Fireboard. Second hour, Embedded Correspondents, if you need them. Don't forget, you can follow me socially, Instagram, Twitter, TikTok, Snapchat, all at the handles at BBQ Central Show, even on LinkedIn. We say good evening to those of you watching tonight through one of our video streaming platforms. You can go to Facebook.com/BBQ Central Show to watch, or Twitter.com/BBQ Central Show. You can also watch on YouTube if you prefer. YouTube.com/@BBQ Central Show, where we do have a new YouTube poll question of the week, and we're asking everybody this, including all guests. Susie Bullock is the most underrated live fire talent in the industry, and currently 67% of you are saying no. So it's tight right now. Moments ago, we were right at where I love to have the polls, which is 50-50. In a vacuum, where I love to have the polls sounds really weird, but I don't want to talk about that. So we're really close to being dead even at this point, but the no's are edging out the yeses. 67% saying no, Susie Bullock is not the most
Andrew, you are
not the most underrated live fire talent in the barbecue industry today. Right? Yeah. We'll see how the rest of that poll works out this evening, and we'll start here tonight. Wireless thermometers. Dave Gafford, the Barbecue Lab. A great test done on the YouTube channel over there. By the way, don't just go to the barbecuelab.com's website. Also go to youtube.com and search the Barbecue Lab, because that's where all of the videos that we talk about are actually housed. You could probably link over from the Barbecue Lab website, but I don't know that to be the case with 100% assurity. But I do know if you go to youtube.com/at the barbecue, BARBECUE, at the Barbecue Lab, then you will see all of the videos that David has done there, and you will be happy to take in all of that information. But many of you are obviously on the hunt for wireless thermometers for the impending holiday season. You thought the video was absolutely fantastic. There were a slew of name brands that you didn't know about. I knew about them, of course, because once again, finger on the pulse of the community and the industry. But a lot of you had no idea that there were even 4 or 5, let alone the 9 that David tested during the course of that video. And 37 minutes in length. Certainly there's long form videos on YouTube, but the wheelhouse of successful YouTubers is not 37 minutes, but it's a very quick watch. A lot of different tests, a lot of great feedback and test results. So depending on what you're looking for, you can get the right one for you. Make sure that your holidays are going to be off to the right start. Well, look here as we get some fan feedback. Terry in Kentucky is writing in.
Terry?
Greg, where do I buy a T-shirt that you have been talking about over the past few weeks? I would love to show my passion and fandom for the show. Regards, Terry.
Terry?
Terry, I question your fandom without any question. I question your fandom. Is that Hippocratic enough? Or hypocrite? Whatever it is. All I know is this. I've been talking about selling these shirts for well over a month. In fact, you had a whole month to get in on this. And now you're asking where you can get it. You can't, Terry.
Terry?
It's over. Probably never to be done again. Thank you for writing it. I'm so disappointed, Terry. You were like the biggest fan. Mr. Backhand Compliment. Or Mrs. I don't know if Terry's a man or a woman. What I do know is it's time to talk about Schwank Grills. Check out the grill that everybody's talking about. What do you need to know? Unit heating up to 1,500 degrees. Using infrared burner technology. What does that mean to you? You can grill the juiciest steaks you've ever tasted in very little time. 3, 4, 5 minutes, depending on thickness. But you want a deal. You want to save a lot of money, of course. So what are you going to do? Right now, until December 2nd, which is days away at this point, you can save $250 off any Schwank grill. There's only one kind, but you can save $250 off the liquid propane or the natural gas. Or if you want to save more money, you can pair that grill and pick up a modern grill table. Save you $350 off the pair. Or you can maximize your complete savings when you not only get the grill and you add the modern grill table, but you also add the grill cover, saving you $450 off. Holy, that's a lot of money to save. In fact, saving that much money is like saving well over a third of the cost of just the Schwank grill alone. So once again, if it's only the grill you want, $250 off of that, no code needed. $350 off the grill when you pair it with a modern grill table. $450 off grill, modern grill table, and grill cover. Where? Schwankgrills.com. Promo code, no need for one. Just save your money and don't have to remember any codes or anything. But only until December 2nd, so hurry up. That's 6 days away. Maybe less. We're back with Steve Susnik right after this. Stick around. Be right back.
You're listening to the BBQ Central Show.
Ready?
Broadcasting live from the BBQ Central Show studios in Cleveland, Ohio. You're listening to the BBQ Central Show. Once again, here's your host, Greg Rempe.
All right, welcome back. This portion of the show is being brought to you by cookinpellets.com, your number one source for quality wood pellets for all your pellet-driven cookers. You visit cookinpellets.com and see their products, and then go to Amazon.com or Walmart.com or Lowe's.com to purchase same great products, just great shipping rates. Great folks over at cookinpellets.com. My next guest can be seen gallivanting across the campus at Kent State sometimes. Can also be seen on work sites across the greater Cleveland area, and can also be seen doing drill training during the weeks and months of any calendar year. It's our pal Steve Susnik joining us back on the show. Steve, how are you, pal?
Yeah, how are you?
Let's try that again.
Can you hear me now?
Yes. Sorry, I thought I hit the button and I did not
all
unmute
good.
you. You're a little big on the thing there,
Want me to
but
back
that's
up?
all right. No, just leave it like that. I mean, you're an extra large human being anyway, so only in a muscular way,
Yeah,
not in a fat way. So you're we're just
big
playing
bone.
you
Big
the
bone.
right way, you the right way. All right, Steve. So here you are, and we're in a time of the year when us live fire lovers, or should I say passionados, love to cook. So Thanksgiving is literally in 48 hours. I assume there's going to be, well, let me not assume. Let me just ask, what's a traditional Thanksgiving look like at the Susnik house?
Oh, well, Mom's always cooking. We always host it at our place. She always does the turkey, the stuffing, the mashed potatoes. And then family members will bring the original sides, maybe cranberry sauce or what's the other stuff?
Is it homemade cranberry sauce?
Yeah,
or the,
it is.
Gelatin can?
No, I heard you were a fan of the can.
Love it.
Yeah, my
Nothing
mom
like
makes
cutting
it
a
homemade.
cranberry disc off and just putting it right in my mouth.
Yeah.
Nothing better. It's
Yeah,
so juvenile. So are you roast turkey
Yeah.
in the oven?
Yeah. Well, I think this year, so my mom is going to do one in the oven like she usually does. And she actually just started spatchcocking it. Is that the right term for it?
Yes. Spatchcock.
Yeah.
Congratulations.
And then, thank you. And then I think I'm going to do one in the smoker. So we'll do one in the oven and we'll do one in the smoker as well.
All right. I'm remiss because I didn't ask you the YouTube poll question of the week right at the top of the segment. So let's
Okay.
get that out of the
I
way and
didn't
then we'll talk
study.
about your preparation.
Okay.
We're asking this question to any and all guests plus people watching on YouTube. Susie Bullock from Hay Grill Hay is the most underrated live fire talent in the industry today. Yes or no?
Yes.
Yes. Right. So while your vote does not adjust the percentages on YouTube, I can tell you that 56% of the YouTube voting public at the moment are saying no. She is not the most underrated live fire talent today. However, I agree with you, Steve. I think she is easily the most underrated live fire talent out there going today. Let's get back to talking about smoking turkey. What's the plan? What are you going to do? What are you cooking on? What kind of fuel are you going to be using? We need to know the whole kit and caboodle.
So I haven't done too much research into it yet, but
It's only 48 hours
yeah,
away.
I know.
You got plenty of time.
No need to waste time, you know. But I'm going to be doing on the Oklahoma Joe's pellet smoker. We'll do pellets. I'm thinking, I don't know what kind of pellets I should use, whether to go like an applewood or a mesquite with a deeper smoke. I haven't really done the research on that yet. I think it's about a 12-pound turkey, so I'm not sure the time and variation. But I'm going to spatchcock it like my mom's going to do in the oven. And we're going to see how it turns out. I've never smoked a turkey before. I did turkey legs last year.
Yeah, right.
But not a whole turkey before. This will be a first time.
In your mind, is it a victory if everybody says, Steve, you're smoked? Secretly, of course. Steve, your turkey was the better out of the two, or do you hope maybe your mom still comes out on top?
Oh, I
Your
mean,
good son.
I always got it. I mean, my mom will always come out on top. There's no way I can. I learn all my cooking from her, so there's no way I can overcome her what she has taught me.
Mm.
So I would say, yeah, she's always going to come out on top, no matter what.
You're going to brine this bad boy?
I don't think so. I don't know. I was doing a little bit more research on it. I just don't really see the point.
You going to inject?
Yeah, inject. Yeah, I think injection is a bit more of a better way to do it.
Will you get really intense and put on nitrile gloves, and then where the chicken neck used to be, turkey neck used to be, pick up
Yeah.
the skin there and start working your hands through the turkey skin, separating the skin from the meat, and then creating pockets and throwing butter globs
Yeah,
and
I've seen that before.
rub and all this nonsense. Are you going to do that?
I might. I mean, I've seen, like, the videos I've been seeing so far, they just put nothing but butter on it. It's like sticks and sticks of, like, softened butter, and they just stuff it with that and throw it all over the skin. So, I don't know. Maybe I'll join the bandwagon, but we'll see. I'll definitely do the injection, though.
have you seen the lady on TikTok that takes a whole turkey and she fills the cavity with Velveeta cheese?
Velveeta cheese?
You like Velveeta cheese on its own?
Yeah, I do. I like, yeah. I mean, I think Velveeta.
You ever thought about filling a turkey cavity with it?
No, not at all. But I think I'd take Velveeta cheese over the Kraft macaroni and cheese any day of the week.
Are we going into a Kraft cheese argument here? All right, here we go.
I think Velveeta's got that. I mean,
YouTube poll question of the week number 2. Is it Velveeta mac and cheese or Kraft Blue Box mac and cheese?
No,
I don't want to go out on a limb, but I think you're going to have fight number 1 with Marley upstairs, who is a...
I mean, maybe like the Kraft macaroni and cheese Scooby-Doos. Those were always good. But if we're going for
I always
flavor...
felt like you got, as a person who had to feed you people, I always felt like I was getting gypped when it was the cartoon characters or the special noodles, and so you could get plenty more of the elbows if that's what I think those were elbows. But when you had the specialty shapes, it's like you got jammed up and you had to pay triple. So now you were paying, back in the old days, you're paying $1.89 for a box of that when you were only paying 79 cents for a box of the other stuff. And I didn't think that the texture was that good either.
I don't know. Maybe I think Scooby-Doo was worth it when I was that old, maybe.
So many years ago.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Many moons.
What are we looking at from a libation situation at Thanksgiving? What do you like to have with the turkey? You white wine guy? Are you Pinot like some of the snobs?
No, I mean, I don't know. I don't really know much about wine. I mean, I like my my bourbon, so I'll probably do bourbon, something simple. I don't know.
Nice bourbon pairing with the turkey.
Yeah,
Turkey's
I mean, I don't know.
Vanilla palate.
What usually, I mean, you drink red wine or white wine with turkey? Or
you wouldn't want to go red like the traditional Cab or a Merlot, nothing like that. But Pinot, which is a lighter red, became very popular with some movie. I think it was called Sideways. You probably don't even remember that, but it was a very popular movie. They were making Pinot in that movie, I think. Or what? All of a sudden, everybody had to have Pinot Noir. That seems to pair really well with turkey, regardless of that movie or nonsense story I just told you. So if you like red wine, and I would say go no deeper than the Pinot, but otherwise this is where your white wines really shine. Very complimentary of the turkey because, once again, turkey isn't really robust with any type of real flavor unless whatever you're adding to it is going to shine through. So you can have the drier wine, Sauvignon Blanc, Pinot Grigio, or you can sweeten it up with a Gewürztraminer, Riesling, or the Chardonnay, of course, that everybody likes. You like that stuff?
The Pinot Grigio, I think I've had before. I think I like the Pinot Grigio. I think Maddi has had it before too. I don't know. Maybe not.
You like Pinot Grigio, Maddi?
No.
All right.
No. Okay. Well, I'll try next time.
Most of the is it most of the women? I think all the women in my house are Moscato drinkers.
Yeah.
And the sweeter the better, I think. Is the
I don't know. I don't know much about wine. Is Pinot Grigio just strictly red wine?
Pinot Grigio is white, but it's dry like red wine.
Oh no, yeah, you wouldn't like. Yeah, Maddi wouldn't like that.
No. Everybody's sweet here.
No.
All right, enough of this nonsense. Let's talk about man shit. As we know, Steve is a member of the National Guard.
Yeah.
And how long you been a guardsman?
I've been in for 5 years now.
What's your rank?
I am a E4, just specialist.
Specialist, right? And last year you won Soldier of the Year in the whole world, right?
In the state of Ohio, my town.
Yeah, it's like the same thing.
Yeah,
you live in
same
Ohio,
thing.
so it might as well be the world.
Yeah.
And then recently you were at a training because it's the Guard is a weekend a month and 2 weeks a year. Is that what the thing is? Yeah.
Yep.
So every month you're out there doing a weekend and you're doing some kind of training. And this time, had you ever done this kind of training before?
No, this was
what did you do?
First time for
what was the agenda for the weekend?
So, well, a month prior before this month's drill, we got notified that we will be taking over the riot calls for the state of Ohio because MPs or other units were going overseas. So our engineer battalion will now be taking over the state of Ohio for any riot calls or any kind of government issues going on for the state of Ohio. So this month we had to get certified on riot training and TCPs, which is a traffic control point, which is when you would like search a vehicle or just ask them general questions because they're about to enter a government building, and then as well as site security. So it was a week of training, and then our main focuses were those 3 points: the riot control, site security, and TCPs.
What was the highlight of the weekend, he asked facetiously?
Well, I mean, I started off, it wasn't a good highlight, but so doing riot control, you have your team set up, and you have your guys holding the riots, you got your guys holding the batons, and then you got your guys holding mace, which is like pepper spray. And I unfortunately am one of the guys holding the pepper spray, so I have to get certified on pepper spray. And in order to get certified on the pepper spray, you have to get pepper sprayed.
Wow. Lucky you.
No, horrible experience. Awful experience. I mean, terrible. Like I said, I mean, when I went to boot camp in 2019, we had to do, and I think everyone has to do this going through Army basic training, but we had to go through the gas chamber. And I would do the gas chamber 10 more times than to get sprayed in the face with that shit ever again.
Wow. So what does certification mean? Like you're so far, you have the guys with the riot shields, you have baton holders, and then are you like third deep, or are you right on the line? Or?
It's kind of set up in a formation sort of way. So the front lines, guys holding the shield, unfortunately, those are going to be your lower enlisted. I mean, they're holding the shield. They're going to be, and then your second row guys are going to be me, which is like team leaders and guys holding batons. And then behind me would be squad leaders with the medics, and then so on and so forth, high ranks in the back. So it kind of starts with the lower enlisted, and then you move your way back. So,
and certification is you're learning how to pull the trigger the right way.
Yeah,
so
you're
like
essentially,
or what does it look?
You can't just. I mean, if someone's coming after you, you can't just pull out a can of mace and just spray them. You know, you have to tell them like, "Hey, I have a can of mace. I will spray. I will." Like you,
like the whole personal defense.
Yeah,
thing.
yeah. You have to let them know that you have this stuff on you.
Maybe they decide to stop running at you.
I really hope so, because man, they're in a they're in a rule of pain. I think so. The stuff that you kind of buy, the stuff that you get on the shelves, is like around, the intensity is like 0.2 intensity. I'm not sure what the actual what 0.2 means, but I know the intent is like the hurt or the burn or whatever is 0.2, the strength. And the stuff that we use is 0.8. So it's 4 times stronger than what we get on the civilian market. But also, I looked into it, and bear mace is just short 1 at 0.9.
Whoa.
You're
basically getting blasted in the face with bear mace.
Yeah, it's terrible. It's awful. It was, I mean,
as soon as it hits you. Bring me back to that magical moment.
So they line you up on the course, and you go through this whole thing. So they line you up, and you're standing right there. And what sucked about it is they had everyone else stand behind you. So guys were getting sprayed prior to them actually even going up in the lane and getting sprayed. I got sprayed like 3 times before I actually went up and got sprayed. So the instructor calls you up, and they go through everything, what you're about to do, blah, 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 blah. So they spray you, and then right after they spray, you have to say your name and rank and open your eyes. So they spray you, OCOC, and you open your eyes, and you say, okay, your name and rank. So then once you move on to your name and rank, then it hits you right as soon as you open. I mean, they spray you, they close you keep your eyes shut, but I mean, as soon as you open your eyes, it hits you.
Is it worse with your eyes open? Like if you could keep your eyes shut, does it lessen the pain, or it doesn't matter?
I don't think it would lessen the pain, only because the pain came from the chemical. It was the burn that hurt the most.
Oh yes.
So I mean, even if I had my eyes open, I still couldn't see anything. So I'm going through the course. You got to do a few takedowns, whatever. And I took this one kid down, and once I took him down and went to the ground, I think that's when all the spray from the top of my forehead came down into my eyes and into my mouth, and that's when it got really bad. And then after, you go to this first aid station, and they take care of you and basically just drain your eyes out with soap and water. Just regular dish soap.
Does it immediately make it go back to normal, or are you?
No, not at all. No, absolutely
not. So how long does it remain with you?
So I got it out of my eyes pretty quickly, so I could see, after like a good 15, 20 minutes, I think I could see fine. But it was the chemical burn that did when the instructor was spraying me, she started at my ear, and she sprayed my ear for a good second and then moved on to my face. So the one right side of my ear was numb and just really red, just really bad chemical burn on it. So that hurt the most. And then also, when you take a shower, the water reactivates the chemical burn. So, I mean, guys were showering that night, and I mean, everyone on the trains were screaming, and and it was just complete chaos for probably 2 days. It was horrible. Wow. I mean, I got back home from drill, I took a shower, and my face was still burning.
Not fun.
No, it was horrible.
No.
It was awful.
As you said, you'd rather do the gas chamber 10 times.
Oh
in a
yeah,
row, right?
yeah. Because I mean, you go through the gas chamber, you go in with a mask on, and then you open your mask up, and you do your exercises, this, that, and the other, and they're yelling at you, they're screaming at you. You're only in there for like 4 minutes, but then you go out and you're coughing, and yeah, you might throw up or whatever, but the burn is done instantly. Like the pain is gone 5 minutes once you're out of the chamber. The pain's not gone once you get sprayed with the OC.
It's with you for days.
The OC's there to stay. And it's there to stay for a few days.
Well, that gives you a little insight as to what goes into this whole training program, and they're getting blasted in the face, so they're just not indiscriminately blasting it into the crowds. You have to feel what it's like before you administer it.
Absolutely.
All right, total break here as we have about a minute left. What are you hoping for the most present-wise this holiday season?
Ooh, the most present-wise. I got a minute. Oh, shit. Present. I asked for running boards for my truck.
Yeah?
Yeah, so a new addition for my truck would be nice.
Very nice. Not
they do get expensive, so
not a waste of
Santa, if you're looking, if you're watching.
Yeah.
It was a good boy this year.
All right.
So.
Well, we'll take your word for it. Certainly your pain that you've had to endure the last drill should certainly earn you a minimum of running boards, maybe some high-intensity fog lamps and maybe window tint and all this other stuff just to help ease the pain a little bit more. Yeah. Steve, do you have social handles that people can follow you at? Do you not care about that?
No, I don't. No, I don't. I mean, Facebook, but that's just for friends and family.
All right, Steve says everybody should follow at BBQ Central Show in lieu of him, of course.
Yes.
And Steve, appreciate you recounting the drill, and also as we look forward to Happy Thanksgiving, and we'll see you in a couple days.
All right. Can I say one more thing before I go?
Hold on.
All right.
Go ahead.
All right. Greg Rempe deserves to be in the Barbecue Hall of Fame.
All
right, thank you. That's it.
Very nice. I didn't know that was coming. But I'll take it. I will take it. That was Steve Susnik sitting right here in studio. There are available seats in studio if you ever wanted to come through Cleveland. I don't know why you would ever come through Cleveland, but if you did on a Tuesday and you wanted to come through the show, you got a whole setup right here, as you saw. Thank you, Steve. Let's talk to you about Pits and Spits before we get to Ted Conrad, who's waiting in the green room. If you're serious about your grilling game, then you need to check out the latest offerings from Pits and Spits. Let's kick things off with a new griddle. The gas griddle combines the power of traditional grilling with a versatile flat top. Engineered with precision, crafted from top quality materials, the versatile grill is set to revolutionize your outdoor cooking experience. Constructed of 304 marine-grade stainless steel. Fully welded design. The griddle comes with 4 burners to accurately manage your heat zone and gets blistering hot with 80,000 BTUs. Made with Pitts and Spit's signature quality, the griddle is designed to last for generations. Now, for those of you building your ultimate outdoor kitchen, you have to check out the built-in pellet grill, designed for discerning grill masters who demand top-tier performance. This grill is the centerpiece for any serious outdoor kitchen. From low and slow smoking to high heat searing, this grill can handle it all. Brisket, ribs, pizza, veggies, you name it, this grill can cook it. And with Pitts and Spit's legendary craftsmanship, you can be confident it's built to last, with stainless steel construction and a design that's reliable and versatile. So if you're ready to take the cooking to the next level, head on over to pittsandspitz.com/BBQ Central and use promo code BBQ Central for a free spice pack with orders over $500 or more. That's pittsandspitz.com/BBQ Central, and then use promo code BBQ Central as you check out. You get a free spice pack with orders of $500 or more, and their steak rub is absolutely phenomenal. It's one of my favorites out there. It's a sleeper. I recommend it this holiday season. Ted Conrad is next. Stick around.
You're listening to the BBQ Central Show. Howard Stern, Jim Rome, Dan Patrick, and Greg Rempe. The Mountain Rushmore of talk show entertainment. Now, let's get back to the BBQ Central Show.
And only because he's 35 past the first hour, this segment is brought to you by Fireboard. Makers of Fireboard 2, Fireboard Pro, Fireboard Spark, Fireboard Beacon, and of course the Fireboard Pulse. By the way, when you use the Fireboard app, you have total access to all of those devices anywhere where you have cell signal. Find out more by visiting fireboard.com or call 816-945-2232. The good folks over at Fireboard. My next guest just happens to be co-founder of the aforementioned Fireboard, as we welcome back our pal Ted Conrad to the show. Ted, we have a YouTube poll question of the week that we're asking everybody, including all guests, which sounds like this. Is Susie Bullock the most underrated live fire talent in the barbecue industry today? Yes or no?
Say no.
Yep. 67% of the YouTube voting public are in your favor as well. Who's more underrated, would you say?
Of the live fire?
Live fire. Barbecue grilling. Yeah.
Who's the most underrated? I mean, what are your like eligible candidates? I mean, who are you guys?
I mean, my question was just if you thought Susie was the most underrated. There's not much more thought put in a YouTube poll question of the week than cursorily.
Gosh, that's a great question, Greg. So, like, now let's see. Would you like Steve Reichlin is not a live fire, right?
Yeah, of course. Live fire, barbecue grilling. Like, he's probably the antithesis of,
right.
You know, everybody knows him.
Well, yeah, sure. I was just trying to think though. It doesn't seem like in my circles, like, you know, like the American Royal, he doesn't do some of these events. I mean, obviously he's a huge TV thing, but he doesn't get out there like a Tuffy Stone, like those types of guys, you know? Mm-hmm. I don't know. Steve Reichlin seems like to me be like kind of a different barbecue personality that's like huge, but like in a different way, right? Not like a Myron Mixon.
Yeah.
You know, like you see those guys out on the competition circuit. I don't think I've ever seen Steve Reichlin out there.
No, like here and there, but I would say he's not out competing. You're absolutely right on that. He's not following the competition trail. He might get invited to make an appearance at a competition, but they're probably inviting him in because he wrote Barbecue Bible, or maybe he's doing some kind of a current book tour, and they want him to stop out and make an appearance there to maybe draw some general public in. But he's definitely not out there. I think one time he did, what was the show I used to love back in the old days with Kitchen Stadium? Iron Chef. But not the Iron Chef on Food Network now where it's with the American chefs. This was when they had the Asian chefs and they were dubbing over whatever they were saying with the English commentators. You remember seeing it in that version at all by chance?
Yeah, I can't say that, Kurt.
It was the best show. I mean, it was so hijinks, but he did a Iron Chef barbecue edition against some Japanese chef in Japan, and he won. And it was
really
like everybody was shocked, but so he's done some, very few competitions, but I can see where you're coming from. Look, enough of this. Let's talk about something important. Let's talk about business at Fireboard. Wireless thermometer update on the rollout. Where are we at?
So the Pulse, you're talking about the Pulse, right?
Yes.
Yep. We are cranking away. Production's probably a little slower than we anticipated. And what that means, any new product, you've just all these little details, and things have been going just a touch slower, Greg. But we are making really good progress.
How many have you sold at this point, and how do you see the continued rollout happening for the balance of the year?
So we kind of, I guess, structured this with these actual builds. Like when we build boards at Fireboard, and as you know, we do this in Kansas City. So we have the machines that we invested in to actually do the printed circuit board assembly in-house, which is kind of fun to watch. If anybody's in Kansas City, feel free to stop by. We have guys that come by to see us. They're like, hey, I'm in town. And some guy was like on an RV tour across America. And he's like, I have to stop at Fireboard Labs in Kansas City. So
wow.
Anyway, welcome to come by. But, we're building the boards there. And usually it's a build of 1,000. For the Pulse, we're doing builds of 2,000.
Wow.
So we have.
Oh, dear. I'm waiting for everything to shut off on my end, but everything is not shut off.
Another batch. Oh.
Ted, I just lost you for like 15 or 20 seconds there. So you said you were building in batches of 2,000 for the Pulse, and then I lost you.
Yeah, so the first 2,000 we finished, and that was about a month ago. And then the next 2,000 we just finished today, literally.
Wow.
And then we have a third batch of 2,000, which is starting basically tomorrow. So we've essentially pre-sold almost 6,000, and we're still operating kind of in a pre-order mode. So we don't have our online store where you can just buy it now. It's still sign up for a pre-order. So, we don't really know yet, being wide open, how things are going to look, but I think sales have been really strong.
Do you see a point in time where you'll just be inventorying the Pulse like you do with every other product, and 5 months from now or 2 years from now I could just go on fireboard.com and buy a Pulse or 10 and away I go?
Oh, sure. We were hoping to do that coming into the Black Friday, because obviously Black Friday is huge, right? So the goal would be to have as much stock as we can, but I don't think we're going to quite be in stock on the Pulse, so people probably still need to pre-order. I'm hoping that we can get most of the orders filled, in time for Christmas. But it's been a push. I mean, we've sold more than we anticipated, and then production has been a little bit slower than we anticipated.
Are you running 24/7, or you just run one shift, normal 8 hours? What's the actual look like?
No, we haven't pushed to a different schedule, except I will say that, there's a couple of us, myself included, that we will once in a while. It's especially, honestly, even just tonight, Greg. I mean, we had the machines running, and I kind of stood a little bit late, kind of raced home to hop on the podcast here with you. But there's a couple of us that will actually stay, and there's one gentleman that he doesn't mind working late, so he's actually, sometimes he'll stay there till midnight, 2, 3 a.m.
Wow.
And I mean, like, if those machines are cranking, then just keep them going. it's smooth sailing.
How much human building is also a part of this?
Quite a bit.
Yeah.
Yeah. Like, so the pulse, if you can imagine, like there's this itty bitty little circuit board that goes down inside of that little metal tube, which is essentially the probe, right? So the probe goes into the meat. Well, that little circuit board is done by the machines. So it's a pick and place machine is what it's called. And that's essentially automated and very, very fast. Once you have that circuit board, we have to hand solder a battery. We have to connect a wiring harness that has the antennas. And then you have to assemble, there's like a ceramic piece and there's like some metal pieces, and all that stuff has to be done by hand.
If I pre-ordered a Pulse today, is there a rough turn time on when I might see it? I know you said you were hoping to get things filled before Christmas, but is there like a rough, if you order it today, you typically see it in 2 or 3 weeks, or what does that look like?
Well, let's see. What is it? November 26th. I mean, if you order today, our goal would be to get it to you before Christmas. That's a little, so we're probably 3 to 4. We're right around that 3 to 4 week range.
What are we looking at again on price point for those of us that are just hearing for it the first time?
$149, and that
right.
comes with a charger, and that the Pulse will connect directly to the phone too, so you don't have to have anything else like in the Fireboard ecosystem.
But we do suggest the gateway or the repeater or whatever you're calling it.
Yeah, we call it the S1G antenna. Yep. So that's short for sub 1 gigahertz. And most people know, but we're trying to improve the connection experience, and we did that with using a lower frequency. So if you have a Fireboard, you can buy that S1G antenna and just plugs right into the Fireboard, and then now you can connect all of your S1G devices. The beacon is also an S1G device, but the Pulse is a wireless probe, obviously, and so that's where you really get that extra range if you've got the S1G.
And if I have 5 pulses and I stick them all into my turkey on Thursday, as long as I have the antenna, it's going to grab all 5 of those wireless thermometers.
Yep. I'm going to try to do a fried turkey, and I'll put the Pulse down in the oil.
That seems to be something that people are measuring, although when I had David Gafford on the show last week, I asked him, out of 10 people, how many are actually using some kind of wireless thermometer to deep fry. We both agreed it was probably less than 1 out of 10 people. But as somebody who's making this like for a living, are you always trying to figure out the balance between consumers say they want this, but we all know in reality they're never going to use it for that. But if we don't have it, then they might buy brand X. So we're going to put it on there anyway, even though we don't personally as a business believe in it?
That's a good question. I really am careful about getting wrapped up in sort of the hot topic of what consumers say they want. And I think it's a little dangerous to design your products that way. So I think you really have to start with what makes sense. And if you get distracted with somebody's, they want you to do this or they want you to do that, you head in like 50 different directions and you never get it done.
So as I had mentioned, I had David Gafford on last week, and he did quite an extensive video, 9 different wireless thermometers, I believe it was. Fireboard right up there at the top in the final evaluation. Do you guys see any tangible results from a video like that, or is it just good to have the name out there and, hey, we performed well, at least in this guy's test, and we'll take that?
Oh, sure. He drives a pretty good traffic. I think that weekend when he dropped the video on his YouTube channel, we saw a pretty decent lift, in sales that day. I think it was maybe a Sunday, or maybe he dropped it late Saturday. So, he's an affiliate. So, there's a handful of affiliates, people that generate content, and then they get, a cut of the fee or cut of the sale if somebody clicks on their link, and then they actually convert on our website.
What do you think of the tests that he was doing. I asked him how he tries to pick out what he thinks consumer wants, and he told me, I'm just doing the test that I think I want to do, and I'm not really relying on input from the fan base. But what do you, as somebody who's making it, do you think those tests are fair?
Oh, I think so. I think David does a great job, honestly. I think it's his wife's name is Melissa, I think. But they've done a great job. I mean, the two of them crank out, these great videos, and the content. It's really helpful, I think, for people to be able to check out these videos and actually learn something more about these products. And I think all of it seems like a lot of real world tests, like a lot of real world cooking, and I think he does a great job.
Any new updates being planned for the Pulse as you go into next year?
Well, we're trying to finish the bridge. I think I mentioned there's this product we've been working on called the bridge, and it's essentially, we had a guy that came in the office the other day, but it's somebody that wants to run beacons or run pulses over S1G, but maybe they don't have a Fireboard. So this will be a neat little device. It's almost kind of like a router. You'll stick it in your house, and that way anything S1G will connect via this bridge, and you don't have to have a Fireboard.
Any new updates for any of the other existing products in 2025 planned?
Well, we have, in fact, literally this week, we are rolling out new firmware. So anybody listening, with Fireboard products, that includes the Yoder pellet smokers. So we have new firmware, which just adds, number one, it improves the connectivity with the Pulse, because you get that Bluetooth connection with any Fireboard. And then there's some really cool, like on the Fireboard 2, there's just some UI improvements with like the way that the charts and the graphs work. And when you have multiple devices, like many different pulses paired, it gives you different screens. So there's been a lot of work going on. And there's kind of normal bug fixes and connectivity stuff. So pretty exciting for us to be this is a big firmware rollout, to be honest. So we've been kind of working on this for a while.
And you just need to have it plugged in, ready to go, and it'll just accept it over the air.
Yep. Just make sure, obviously just make sure you're connected to your wireless network, and it'll update within about 10 minutes.
Any new products, brand new products that are going to be rolled out first half of next year?
The only thing I'll tell you, Greg, is we've dabbled with some temperature. Well, people know Fireboard Drive, right? Yeah. And Drive is where you can control like a Kamado or a kind of like a wood or charcoal grill. And so we kind of have this accessory that will be specifically geared towards a grill out there in the marketplace already. And so essentially it's kind of like an accessory you can buy for this grill, and it'll give you that Fireboard Drive control. So I don't want to say a whole lot more, but we'll be talking about this pretty quick. And
does it rhyme with him, fleen, sneg?
No.
Okay. Allegedly. Yeah. All right. So this is a well-known grill out on the market otherwise?
A very well-known grill.
All right. Are you partnering with them, or are you just making it just kind of to work with that kind of grill?
Yeah, not yet, but there's always these conversations that kind of start and stop and start and stop. And so we really thought this product was something that would make sense for people, because it just expands the capabilities, and it sort of actually goes with some of these things like the Fireboard Pulse, like for instance, like rotisserie. So there's some, I'll give you a few more hints there, but like this sort of enables a little bit of rotisserie type of, which I haven't done a ton of rotisserie cooking, but I mean, a rotisserie chicken is great, and so now we can do that with the Pulse, but we need to have our own rotisserie so people can set that up and use it.
Is your biggest in-market competitor now ThermoWorks, or is it Combustion Inc.? Because I'm seeing a lot of stuff that all of a sudden is similar to what you guys are offering. Not in a bad competitive way, but just friendly competitive, business competitive.
Yeah, no, I think that's fair. I think the combustion products seem to be really, again, geared towards that higher end of the market, really high quality. Probably the ThermoWorks is the same way. So I think probably the three brands, the combustion, ThermoWorks, and us are probably the three that are competing. But I always say, competition is good, right? It makes us a better company. I think for the consumer, it gets them better products, and they have choices, right? If we're out of stock and people are dying to have a wireless probe, they can buy the combustion, and vice versa.
Travel plans for 2025 before I let you go. Where are you guys going to be at least the first half of next year?
Well, we're going to make it to Colorado for sure. We need to do a couple snowboard trips. So I take my kids out to Colorado and hit the slopes. So that's the only thing we're going to do. We don't have any exact dates yet, but we'll be out there hopefully several times.
We'd be doing like HPB this year. I think it was going back to New Orleans before the world shut down. It's going back there.
Yeah, we did not do HPBA last year, and I don't think we will this year. So we've been doing a restaurant show instead.
Yeah.
And for us to do more than one of these big trade shows, I guess we've done a couple or three, but it just seems like a lot, and I think the restaurant show has been really, really good. So I think we'll keep doing that.
It's the one in Chicago, right?
Yeah, it's huge. Yeah. It's at that McCormick Convention Center. I mean, it's just massive.
All right. Well, that's driving distance, so maybe I'll take a look at it this year and shoot out to Chicago. There's some other folks that I know that go out there and say what a great show it is, so we'll see. All right, this is Ted Conrad, Fireboard.com, the website, of course. If you are interested in that wireless thermometer we've been talking about, get on the pre-order. Hopefully you'll have it here before Christmas hits us. Ted, always appreciate the time. Continued success, and we'll talk to you in the next year.
Thank you, Greg. Have a good one.
Have a great Thanksgiving, too, by the way. So, Ted Conrad right there from Fireboard, longtime sponsor of the show. And I'm sure he's finally happy to not have to field the question at the end of every interview going, when is the wireless thermometer coming out? When are you guys doing that? They did it. And they are one of the market leaders to boot. So, congratulations to everybody out there at Fireboard. A very well-performing Pulse. $149, I believe you said it was, to get you going, plus some other ancillary products if you want. I think that sub 1G antenna, very inexpensive, so you just want to add that. Just add it in. Just go ahead. All right, let's go ahead and step away real quick, and then we'll come back with the recap of the first hour. Head to the second hour. Stick around. Be right back.
Continuing to produce incredibly mediocre content in an exceptionally professional way. You're listening and watching the BBQ Central Show. Once again, here's your host, Greg Rempe.
And we thank Ted Conrad for joining us. Last segment. Of course, the show being brought to you by Primo Grills. The best ceramic cooker out there on the market, only sold through dealers. So please, oh please, go to primogrill.com, find a dealer near you, check them out on Facebook and Instagram. All the accessories you want, and of course that legendary game-changing oval design that gives you the ability to execute that two-zone setup that you desire. Good folks over at Primo, longtime sponsor of this show, just like Fireboard is. In fact, my Fireboard and my Primo go together like hand und glove. I used my Fireboard on Saturday for the big prime rib cook that we did this past weekend. Delicious. All right, we're pointing to the second hour. Refresh your libations, and we'll be back with some hot second hour takes. Of course, the Embedded Correspondents coming up after that. You're listening and watching the BBQ Central Show right here on the BBQ Central Network. Stick around. We'll be right back.
Hi, this is Sylvie Curry from Ramona, California, and I'm listening to the Barbecue Central Show.
Happy to have you aboard here for the Really Big Barbecue Show.
We cook because we have to, and we grill because we want to.
Hit me!
Fine, how's it going?
You have a great show. I'm a big fan.
Boing.
So what seems to be the problem here? This man looks like he's dead, and he's in the crackle. Sean Bono! It's all about the Sean Bono, dude!
Succulent fish! What?
He ate 54 wieners.
Oh, listen, Lavernius, shut your face.
I'm shaking like a dog shit peach seeds.
We have top men working on it right now. Top men.
And just like that, we're in the second hour, Barbecue Central Show, where we talk about the most important items taking place in the live fire industry today, or during the course of the week, or months. If it's important, we will stay on it, bringing you the live local updates. Absolutely. The show originating from
Palm City, USA, Cleveland.
Still to come on the show this evening, the Embedded Correspondents will join me in about 13 minutes from now. We say good evening to those of you watching tonight through one of our video streaming platforms. You can go to facebook.com/BBQ Central Show or twitter.com/BBQ Central Show, or you can watch the show on YouTube, which is youtube.com/@BBQ Central Show. By the way, with the YouTube poll question of the week, I don't know why, but we've had intermittent connection issues, but only with the chat, not necessarily the live feed, or at least not that I've been told by anybody in the instant chat, although this week kind of blows. Everybody's either off work or half-assing it at work, getting ready for the Thanksgiving holiday on Thursday, so perhaps the attendance isn't necessarily as robust as it normally would be. But we are here nonetheless, getting you ready for the Embedded Correspondents, and then Thanksgiving Day on Thursday, and a whole bunch of other fun stuff. By the way, programming note as we get ready for December, the last 2 weeks of Tuesdays in December, which would be Christmas Eve and New Year's Eve. There's not going to be any live shows, but there will be new content dumped into the feed. So again, no live shows those last 2 weeks of the year, but there will be new content that is put into the feed. In fact, we will probably pre-record what will be the last Embedded Correspondent segment in 2024 before we bridge into 2025. So here's the YouTube poll question of the week that we're asking everybody, including all guests. Is Susie Bullock the most underrated live fire talent in the industry today? And currently 61% of you are saying no, she is not the most underrated. I will take issue with that. I will say Susie Bullock, the most underrated live fire talent today in the barbecue and grilling industry. In fact, I posed the same question to Ted Conrad, who quickly said no. And I said, well, who would be more underrated than Susie? He had no answer coming back. He said Steven Reichland. I think he's grasping. Steven Reichland, hardly underrated, highly successful. Not that Susie isn't highly successful, but I think from a flying under the radar standpoint, and she's right there at the top. And man, she is just making great content and doing great business moves and have multiple companies. And entrepreneur is Susie Bullock, and of course the associated Triple T. So congratulations to them, but now it's starting to break back towards 50-50. Now 58% of you are saying that she is not the most underrated. But we'll see what the Embedded Correspondents here say here in just a few moments. If you missed the first hour of the show, you missed a dynamite first interview with Steve Susnik, and then we followed it up with a great interview from Ted Conrad over at Fireboard.com. If you missed it, don't worry. You can get the first hour tomorrow on Wednesdays. You can get the second hour, which is how I'm talking now, on Thursdays. And coming up on the best moments of the Barbecue Central Show in 10 minutes or less this coming Friday, you get episode 361, which took place on November 24th of 2015, so almost 9 years to the day. Tuffy Stone is the guest that John features this week. That Tuffy Stone out of Virginia and Cool Smoke. We talked a bit about what I believe ended up being a one-off event called Smokin' at the Track, where they took 8 or 9 pitmasters that were popular at the time. Remember, again, this was going almost 10 years ago, so competition barbecue was substantially more popular than it is now. I would say wildly more popular than it is now. So they took 8 or 9 pitmasters and then threw them out at some NASCAR race. Tried to make those two. Remember in the old days when people said competition barbecue is a lot like how NASCAR used to be, and there was this real big thought of synergism that was supposed to be. Wow. There was a synergy that was supposed to happen, and it. Anyway, they got a whole bunch of pitmasters out there, and they got some NASCAR guys out there, and I think that's all that ever happened was that one time. So Tuffy Stone talked about that, and then also talked about, and I don't know how many people remember this, but back then, Tuffy had really backed off the amount of competitions that he was doing. Back in the old days, 7-8 years before that, he was running the circuit like normal competition cooks that wanted to win Team of the Year would run 25, 30 plus events during the course of a calendar year. That's a lot. And in 2015, he had really changed up quite a bit and started to do maybe 7 or 8 competitions. But he was one of the few ones that was winning at a significant clip. Half, 60, 70% of the competitions that he was doing, he was either winning or making a reserve grand. At least top 10, but mostly winning in second place. So he talked about how he was doing it back then. By the way, if you didn't realize this, because I think it get lost in the scope of success that Tuffy Stone has had over his career, Cool Smoke, which is his competition team name, former KCBS Team of the Year, which I think people forget a lot. Also, I believe he was a co-Team of the Year a year or so before he won it outright. So doing it a long time, won everything that you could possibly win, and that means Memphis in May, yes, American Royal, yes, the Jack multiple times, and he has won Memphis in May multiple times. The only thing that he hasn't done, to my knowledge, and I could be wrong, is Houston, Livestock and Rodeo, but maybe Rusty would know, or John would know, maybe Matt would know if Tuffy has won Houston. But if he hasn't won that one, which I don't think he has, it's like Darren has won everything but Memphis, and Tuffy has won everything but Houston. We need somebody to win everything, for crying out loud, and then we can just say we knew that person. Don't forget, you can subscribe to the Best Moment Show by visiting thebbqcentralshow.com/subscribe, and then choose your platforms from there. Don't forget, if you want to hear a guest or a segment that has been lost in the archives, email John and let him know what you would like to hear. Of course, John is Jon, John, Jon at thebbqcentralshow.com. He'll do his best to meet your expectations. Looking through an instant chat from Rogue Cookers, and he's not in the board here at the moment, so hopefully his email is, or his internet is working properly. Matt Osmond, of course, always right on time. So we're getting ready to launch into the Embedded Correspondents. A T-shirt update, in case you were wondering, everything is in the mail, and now the emails are rolling in. For instance, Keith Evans loves the shirt, and Matt Brackle. Greg, thanks so much for putting the shirt sale together. My 6 shirts arrived Wednesday. They are awesome. I'm excited to have them. Thanks again, and keep up the great shows. Matt, thank you for ordering 6 shirts. Also, Dennis, the embedded correspondent in Colorado, got his shirt, and he loves it. And my local Centralite, Rod Schrader, loves his shirt, said that it's his favorite brand and material. So I'm sure he'll be wearing that to bed every night, saying his prayers and then going to bed properly. So everybody getting outfitted the way that they wanted. Again, apologize for getting those in the mail a little delayed, but holiday on the Monday they were going to go, and then we finished packaging them up a week ago over the weekend, and nice to see that they have made them out to many different destinations across the nation, and everybody is doing. I do ask one thing, by the way. If you got one of the shirts, make a social post about it. Is this going to encourage me to do another shirt event in 2025? No. But now that we've done it in 2024, why not do me the solid and make a social post and say, this is the show I listen to. You should follow him on the Instagrams. My goal for 2025 socially is to get to 10,000 followers on Instagram before I have to go buy them. I'm not above buying. I don't want to, though. But I would buy. I would do it. All right, we have 3 of the 4 gents, and I'm sure Matt will show up here in just a moment. Folks, the holiday season is upon us again. And that means we can look forward to Christmas lights, football games, listening to Mariah Carey songs on loop. The whole family coming over to the house for a holiday meal. It's time to dust off the old recipe box. Or even might still be a few that you can read. Oh, the fun is just beginning. This year, your friends at Franklin Barbecue are here to tell you that it doesn't just have to be chestnuts roasting on an open fire. The luckiest among us can hear the beautiful crackle of post oak heating up in the firebox in a brand new Franklin BBQ pit. From now through the end of the year, enjoy $250 off the price of an offset smoker by famed pitmaster Aaron Franklin, specifically for your backyard. You may know Aaron Franklin from his award-winning restaurant in Austin, or from his best-selling cookbooks, or maybe from his masterclass series. Or did you know that he's a rock and roll artist and he tours? That guy. But did you know that since 2020, he's been helping folks master the craft of barbecue across the country with heirloom quality Franklin BBQ pits? Well, he has. Designed and built with quality that's second to none, the Franklin Barbecue Pit made in the USA with quarter-inch American-made steel. Every Franklin pit is a thing of beauty and unique unto itself with its own natural markings and own badged number. It's a masterful design of thickness, quality steel, professional-grade heat retention, and impeccable airflow. All musts for making truly great barbecue. Make this holiday season special. Kickstart your barbecue journey by ordering your Franklin Barbecue Pit today. You can still use the family recipe, of course, but your holiday meal will never be the same. Please visit franklinbbqpits.com to learn more. You can buy one online, or you can go find a certified Franklin dealer, all at that same website, franklinbbqpits.com. Merry Christmas and happy holidays from your friends at the barbecue family of Franklin Barbecue Pits, and from here at the Barbecue Central Show. franklinbbqpits.com. We're back with the Embedded Correspondents. All of them are in for now. We'll be back right after this.
You're listening to the Barbecue Central Show. Howard Stern, Jim Rome, Dan Patrick, and Greg Rempe. The Mountain Rushmore of talk show entertainment. Now, let's get back to the Barbecue Central Show.
Oh boy, this is a thing. Doug, did you email Rusty and tell him to use a different link? Because you're in one box, and then he was in the box that you're in now, and now he's not there. Oh, now they're competing. Rusty, are you using the right link? Anyway, this portion of the show brought to you by Pit Barrel Cooker, the most unbelievable outdoor cooking device on the planet. Available in 3 different sizes. It doesn't matter if you're a beginner or a professional. It's a cooker you want to add to the arsenal. Visit pitbarrelcooker.com and tell them The Barbecue Central Show sent you. We are here on the fourth Tuesday of the month, and that means we are here with the Embedded Correspondents. There they are. However, Rusty and Doug appear to be competing for the same space for whatever reason. I think Doug is using a different one altogether for some reason. Is everybody not using the link that's on the board that everybody was using? I don't know. We'll see. Maybe Doug will show up here. We have a YouTube poll question of the week as Doug looks just puzzled in a very stuck fashion. If you're wondering why he looks so puzzled and so stuck, is because he's actually not there. Rusty, are you live right now? Rusty, not live either. Dear. Well, at least my two favorite embedded correspondents are live, local, and late breaking here on a November embedded correspondence segment. So we have a YouTube poll question of the week of Z2. Oh, here we go. All right. Doug, while I have you, are you using the link that your name is assigned to on the embedded document?
That's the problem. I had a computer crash about 30.
Oh, Rusty jumped in. Damn it.
November embedded correspondence.
Right. Rusty, you and Doug.
Question of the week of Z2.
Oh my God. Can you hear me?
I can hear you. I was using the right one. I used it several times. I used it 3, 4, 5 times. I was using the right one. It wasn't me.
Doug is using your link too for some reason, and it's causing. Is your microphone working?
Mine?
Yeah. Hit the microphone. Uh-oh, Doug's coming in. Now Doug's coming in. Watch this. This is great. If I could only get one of these guys for 5 seconds so I could let them know what they need to do, then we could fix this. No Doug. All right. I don't know if he's got email here, but I'm gonna.
I'm using.
Okay. All right. And your microphone works this time. Your computer mic was on that time, but now your regular mic is in. All right. So if Doug shows up, of course you know what's going to happen now. In 6 seconds, Doug is going to show up where you are now, Rusty, and that's just going to be the way it's going to be. All right. We're going to roll with it. Thanksgiving, I guess. We have a YouTube poll question of the week. Rusty, since you're here at the moment, let's start with you. Is Susie Bullock the most underrated live fire talent in the barbecue and grilling industry today?
Yeah, and it's not even close. People who disagree man, that's sad that people even think that's the case.
John, is Susie the most underrated live fire person today?
I don't know. Those bacon wrapped carrots this week are tough to beat. But I'm going to go with no, Rusty. No.
Matt, is Susie Bullock the most underrated live fire talent in the industry?
Yeah, we're going to go with that.
Yes, I agree with Rusty and Matt. John, who would you say is more underrated than Susie for asking for a name?
More underrated?
Yes.
Captain Ron.
Oh, okay. Doug is here, by the way. Doug, just stay right there. Don't leave again. Rusty has taken your link because you insist on taking his link, but we'll go ahead and do it there. Because remember, Doug, the introductions are always, here's me, here's Doug Scheiding, always to the right of me, but you happen to be directly below me where the guy from the great city of Utah typically lives. But that's all right. It's Thanksgiving. Who cares? Throw caution to the wind. No rules. Your show. You're the host of baseball and
computer
BBQ
crash. It's okay.
It's fine.
It's all. Yeah.
It's fine. It's fine. All right, Doug. You just jumped in here for a YouTube poll question of the week before we get going here, and I really make the introductions. Is Susie Bullock the most underrated live fire talent in the barbecue and grilling industry today?
No.
Do you have a name that is more underrated? John said Captain Ron, whoever that is.
Do you want a man or a woman?
I'm just asking you for a name.
Milligan? Okay. Fred Robles, Jackie Milligan.
Jackie who?
Yeah, exactly. She's pretty underrated. She's won a world championship.
Underrated or unknown?
Barbecue. Yeah. Underrated and unknown.
All right. Jackie Milligan. There you go. So Captain Ron, Jackie Milligan, all more underrated. There you go. But luckily, the three of us are right. So here we go. In case you've never seen this show before, I'm your host, and just to the right of me is Rusty Monson from the great city of Utah, the third longest running embedded correspondent. And then to the right of him is our pal John Solberg, the executive producer of the best moments of the Barbecue Central Show in 10 minutes or less from the great state of Michigan, except this coming weekend. And then directly below me, the longest running embedded correspondent from Texas, Doug Scheiding of Rogue Cookers. And caddy corner, middle below me is Matt Osman, embedded correspondent from Tennessee, the newest guy of the clan. We're going to be running through a set of 100% Assurity questions where I will be asking them, or I'll more or less be making a statement, and they will say with 100% Assurity the answer of yes or no, and we might follow up to dig a little deeper if I'm so inclined. So we'll start with Rusty since he's to the right of me. Rusty, 100% yes or 100% no, and it's the question that has led the last 3 months. Have you seen at least one episode of Jess Pryle's new TV show, Hardcore Carnivore?
First of all, this is where I belong, right here in the top middle. That's important to understand.
Of course.
And I haven't seen it yet, and I really want to.
I'm shocked. John, still no?
It's still no. Still no for me.
Doug?
No Apple TV, no.
I thought you were going to find a way around it last month. You were going to take in.
I tried.
Rusty, by the way, I'm shocked. What are you up to? This is like barbecue TV is your deal.
I know, and I have Apple TV. I didn't even know that. That's actually a bigger plus and a bigger reason why I should watch it, because I love Apple TV. I am not busy as I usually am, but I do different things now that I'm not on the truck as much.
And if you're paying attention, Rusty said doo-doo. Matt, 100% yes or 100% no. Have you seen at least one episode of Jess Pryle's new TV show, Hardcore Carnivore?
100% no.
I have to say, I'm a little shocked at you too. You're typically on the bleeding edge of what's happening.
I will pledge to watch it before year's end.
I'm not going to make you watch it. I'm just surprised.
No, I just.
By the way, I haven't either. You know what? I got to say, I'm pretty disappointed in us gals. Not one of us has seen even 1 second of that TV show. I mean, I'm not surprised by John, but I mean, out of the 4 of us, I would have to say, I thought one of us would catch a passing glimpse, 1 minute at least of that TV show. And nobody, but let's not say a word to anybody about it. John, 100% yes or 100% no. You will try Chris Young's cook the turkey frozen technique on Thursday.
Yes, I have cooked that method, but I will not be cooking it on Thursday. But I already have.
All right. Doug, you will try the cook the turkey frozen technique on Thursday.
Sadly, no.
Matt?
Not on Thursday.
Rusty, 100% yes or 100% no. You will try Chris Young's cook the turkey from frozen technique on Thursday.
It's too late, so no.
What do you mean it's too late? You've defrosted the turkey?
Yeah, that's just got to be defrosted. It takes a long ass time.
Yes, but didn't you watch the show last week? Last week when you could have not defrosted the turkey?
Yeah, but it's not something like, oh, you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to really fuck up Christmas or Thanksgiving this year and try a method I've never done before.
Wow. All right, John, you've done it before. Maybe you pioneered this and Chris shanghaied it from you. I'm not saying that's what happened, but it probably did. How did you find it?
I've cooked every piece of major protein there is, except for a large brisket from frozen to done.
Just because?
Chicken wings, turkeys, chickens, pork butts, all of it. Just isn't part of my growth to go, what happens? I didn't find it cooked faster. I find that they cook out about the exact same time, even though I budget more time for the frozen. Things tend to hit pretty much frozen to thawed right along the line of what your timeline would be.
What about a finished product? Similar? Like you wouldn't notice any difference?
You don't know any difference.
Doug, are you worried about screwing Thursday up, or did you already defrost it? Or Why would you not try?
I already had my fresh turkey ordered last week when I heard that. So
Is it fresh? Is it fresh previously frozen or fresh?
No, it's fresh. It's from a meat market here in town.
All right, Matt. Too much pressure for Thursday?
That with orders and going the big turkey breast this year.
All right. I'm definitely not doing that. No, sir. Too much pressure. I told that to a bunch of people that were going to be coming over on Thursday. They all looked at me like I was talking in Greek, which means I'm not even going to bother trying to make that case. So I'll do it before the year's out. Like I said, I would probably do anyway. I'm interested. By the way, I did have an email from a guy who told me that he tried it. What did I do with it? The show. Oh, here it is. Some guy named David wrote me an email. Frozen turkey on pellet grill at 2:30. 2 hours in. Neck and giblets still firmly frozen in place. Skin looks good, though. Up temp to 250. 3 hour mark. Still frozen in the middle. Turned up to 325. 4 hour mark. Exposed neck section. Cooked to crispy and broke off. Some giblets came out, but not all of them. Paper baggie. Holding remaining giblets still embedded. After 5 hours, the center of the bird still under 100 degrees. The wing flats are 180. The drums at the connection to the thigh is 140. This is a fail. 1 star, do not recommend. Mr. Young, what say you? So, of course, I immediately forwarded that email over to Chris Young, who, as I paraphrase, said, well, he did exactly what I said I was doing. If you're not going to follow my method, then don't send me the email that says my method sucks, as I paraphrase what Chris Young said. So somebody did try it like right off the bat and was having lackluster events, but he didn't do it exactly like Chris Young was doing. For all of you. All right, let's go to Doug. 100% yes or 100% no. Prime rib will take over turkey in the next 20 years as the main protein for Thanksgiving dinner.
I'm doing a prime rib Thursday, but I'm going to say no to that question.
Matt.
Yeah, 100% yes. Absolutely.
Rusty, prime rib will take over turkey as the main protein at Thanksgiving for dinner in the next 20 years.
Yeah, I think it'll come back when the boomers are all gone and it's cool again.
Rusty, when will the boomers be all gone? I need to set my time.
Let's give them 15 years. That's a good
you're
average.
Gracious. See, you are Mr. Positivity.
Yeah, and then 15 years later, then we'll have good prime rib again, and people will like it.
John, 100% yes or 100% no. Prime rib will take over turkey in the next 20 years as the main protein for Thanksgiving dinner.
Well, as the only boomer in the room, I'm not sure how to take that, first of all, Rusty. And second of all, I'm glad you'll be looking forward to my demise so you can have prime rib. Unfortunately, no, it will not take it over, but I wish that it would. From boomer to you.
How long has Thanksgiving been around? You think in the next 20 years, prime rib is going to usurp turkey as the main protein that has been the main protein associated with the Thanksgiving holiday for like 800 years or however long it's been? I mean, give me a break. 100% yes or 100% no. Matt, the best side dish at Thanksgiving is mashed taters.
Yeah, 100%. Yeah. Yes.
Are you in a new area, Matt?
Kids aren't home, so I decided to not be in the toilet. Yeah, I'm downstairs.
Look at you. I thought there were a different background for you. Glad the kids aren't home. Rusty, 100% yes or 100% no. Mashed taters is the best side dish at Thanksgiving.
Yeah, of course. It's the best.
All right. John?
I'm gonna go with a no, but I'm gonna go with no.
All right. What's your favorite?
I'm gonna go with the stuffing or the dressing, depending on where you live. But just mashed potatoes are pretty much everyday thing. But stuffing is not necessarily an everyday thing. But it was a tough call for me to go that way. Stuffing,
Doug?
dressing.
Best side dish at Thanksgiving is mashed taters.
I'm assuming that's like hand in glove. It includes gravy, so I'm going to say yes.
Does that mean any side dish that has gravy on it is also the best side dish?
Almost. You can never have enough gravy, and I'm in charge
Yeah.
of the freaking gravy, and I'm making enough.
How do you make it only with the drippings from the turkey, or do you make some other kind of gravy that doesn't rely on turkey drippings?
Yeah, I make a little bit. I'll even make it. I use pork stock and chicken stock, and not necessarily the drippings from the turkey.
Flour guy
I used
or
to worry about
cornstarch?
that. Flour.
Flour. Ooh. Would you run the risk
make
of
it like
having
a roux.
it be like having it taste like flour? Can't you over flour? No.
No. I make like a roux, and then put in the stock, and then I do add a little, half and half or something like that too. So it's pretty creamy.
All right, I'm
Plenty
going
of
to go dressing or stuffing as best side dish for the reasons that John listed as well. But I just had mashed potatoes as a side dish for dinner tonight. But of course, that probably goes to John's argument as well. I just was eating it at a random night, even though we are close to Thanksgiving. Next question, last one before we go to break. We go back to Rusty on this one. Rusty, 100% yes or 100% no. You will try the Turkish style hummus this year at Thanksgiving.
No, I will not. I'm sorry. Was anyone from Turkey at the first dinner?
Turkey.
No.
John?
100% no. But thanks for asking.
Rapidly no. Doug, 100% yes or 100% no. You will try the Turkish style hummus this year at Thanksgiving.
I don't even know what the hell it was. No.
Because it was Matt's question, I'll answer now. I mean, what the fuck is that? All right, Matt. Turkish style hummus, help me out.
No, but I really want to.
Look, I mean, I don't know if you're allowed to do this anymore, Matt. You've submitted many questions where, like, you have to say yes and then explain, but then you also say no. Like, everybody, it was a unanimous no, and 3/5 of us didn't even know what the hell it is.
It's basically a turkey mold filled with hummus.
That's even more pathetic than I even thought it was going to be.
You made that up, dude. That's not real.
It's in my algorithm.
Just go.
Yeah,
Just
totally.
leave. Get up from the kids' room and get out of here.
Get out.
Go
You're
away.
done. You're done. All right. We are with the Embedded Correspondents as they join me here as they do each and every month. Again, this will be the last live one before we do a pre-recorded one as we end 2024, but this will be the last live one that you're listening to, so enjoy it while you have it. Do a quick piece of business here with Big Papa Smokers, and then we'll come back to finish out the Assurity questions and anything else that we might want to talk about before we close up shop. This holiday season, give the gift that will light up everybody's backyard. Big Papa Smokers has everything the barbecue lover in your life needs, from the award-winning rubs and sauces to the top-of-the-line grills and smokers. Big Papa Smokers is your flavor foundation, with pitmaster favorites like Sweet Money, Little Louis Seasoned Salt, Cash Cow, Desert Gold, Happy Ending, plus many more. For a limited time, use promo code REMPY15 at checkout. Get 15% off your entire purchase through December 24th. So you have just a little under a month. Again, that's REMPY15, REMPE, and then the numerals 15. Exclusions apply. Visit BigPapaSmokers.com for more details. Again, it's REMPY15 at checkout to get 15% off your entire purchase now through December 24th. Remember, your food just got better with Big Papa Smokers. We're back with more Embedded Correspondents right after this. Stick around. Be right back.
You're listening to the Barbecue Central Show. Whole packers, full racks, legs and thighs, injecting butts. If you've never heard this before, you might think you found the best XXX show ever. Let's get back to the most homoerotic host out there today, Craig Rimpey.
This portion of the show being brought to you by McAuliffe Cigars, where each blend is a chapter in a grand tale of craftsmanship and passion. Last year, McAuliffe Black was crowned the 2023 Cigar of the Year by the Cigar Authorities podcast. And this year, McAuliffe Blue has been nominated as a contender for 2024 Cigar of the Year. Never has there been a cigar that has gone back-to-back with the Cigar Authority, but we'll see if McAuliffe Black and Blue can do it. By the way, don't forget about the McAuliffe Red. Delicious. We are back with the Embedded Correspondents. We are here with Doug and his cat. Doug, what's your cat's name there? Turkish Hummus, is that his name?
No, but it's going to change to it next week, probably. The cat's name is Hattie.
Hattie, all right. Good to see Hattie there. And we'll go to, who was it? John, did we do, we did Rusty? John, to you, 100% yes or 100% no, wireless thermometers are, in a word, overrated.
1,000,000,000% yes, they are overrated.
Doug, overrated?
Yes, I agree.
Matt Osmond, 100% yes or 100% no, wireless thermometers are, in a word, overrated.
I disagree. No, I don't think they are.
Rusty?
I haven't tried the ThermoWorks one, but all the ones I've tried are terrible. Yes, they're overrated.
Strictly going off of what the market demands, they are not overrated. The guy from Barbecue Lab is testing 9 different ones, and he probably only got to half of them. That means the market is demanding wireless thermometers, whether I want one or not. That's a different question, but the market is demanding it, so they're not overrated. And we go to... sorry. Go ahead, Doug.
I agree. The market is for newbies.
Always. Always has been, always will be. 100% yes or 100% no. Doug, a grill requiring a 220 line for operations means you will gain 0 market share.
Correct.
Matt?
100% yes.
Rusty, a grill requiring the installation of a 220 line for operating means you will gain 0 market share.
Absolutely.
John?
100% no.
Oh.
They're gonna get, it's like, didn't stop any of them idiots putting hot tubs in, did it?
I mean, I put in a hot tub. I got to say that. Now, this idiot who put in a hot tub will not put in a 220 line for a grill. No way. I mean, it's...
What you did for your hot tub, though, so it's already right there.
Yeah, but I can't run two 220s on that, can I? Don't I need 490 then at that point, or 758?
No, 220, 221, whatever it takes.
What does it take?
Just have a
If
switch.
that's the case,
Just
then
have a
I'll have Napoleon send me one, and I'll just run a cable to it. I just like.
Well, I don't see
can
why
I butt
you wouldn't.
connect?
It's a plug, right? You already have a 220 line on in your cook area.
It's not a plug. What are you talking about? I have a box on the side of my house, and then they run wire through some pipe, and then it gets wired into the back of the hot tub. There's no plug there.
220 single phase. It's already there. It's already in your cook area. It's already piped.
I wish I was a man, but I'm not. I don't even know what he's talking about.
It's like, damn it. I'm not saying that our group is going to buy these things, but electrification is not going away no matter what.
But you think
So
somebody? I mean,
it's
what
going
is?
to get
You're a real man, John. What does it cost to have Rusty the electrician show up and drop a 220 line in your house? I don't have any idea.
It all depends on where you live and the quality of electrician that you hire.
So it could range from
Straight
what?
up. Let's give it a couple grand. Give me a couple grand. I'll
Couple
get you
grand, but that grill's got to cost $1,000.
How much did you pay to run your hot tub line? And how much did you pay for your hot tub?
20 grand, but I'm rich.
There you go. So if someone's going to spend $3,000 to put an electric grill on their deck,
Yeah, but I mean, you're
let's go
spending more
crazy and
money
go
to.
for.
You could be spending as much or more on putting a 220 line to run the grill. That seems absurd.
but you already ran the line. It's already on. You already have 220 at the deck.
Yeah, me. But I'm talking about general Jane and John consumer.
I'm not doing it. I don't think a lot of barbecue and grilling people are going to do it, but it's going to go. It's not going to go away. Might take a couple years. We'll revisit it in 27.
All right. Anybody else got any hot takes on 220 electric grills? Matt, you're ready to talk.
What are the electric cars, that whole plug-in thing? Isn't that 220 as well, or at least close to it?
Yeah, you got to get a 220 line installed like in your garage or something.
You can do a lot of 110.
Yeah, but the car costs more than the 220 line. The hot tub costs more than the 220 line. The grill might cost as much or less than the 220 line. That's where my breaking point is. Oh, good. Doug, go ahead.
I'll take the homework assignment. My brother-in-law is a journeyman electrician coming this week, invading my house. I will ask him how much it costs to put one in.
Doug, I have a new challenge.
Yes, sir.
You're going to put one in, and you're going to get one of those grills, and then you're going to report back on how much you like it. Oh, you can't say no. You're doing it. Homework has been assigned.
I've already got a hot tub. And the wife gets in the hot tub. She's not going to get in the grill.
It's already there, Doug. Just plug it in. Just plug it in. It's already there.
I'm just going to have a switch. It's going to be like a little thing.
Switch it up.
Turn it.
I don't know. Good luck. God bless. Are we back to Matt? Is that you? Matt, 100% yes or 100% no. Malcolm Reed is the most influential person in live fire right now.
100% no.
Right? Rusty?
Yes. What are you people talking about? You guys are crazy.
You people, Matt. John,
yeah,
100%
people.
yes or 100% no. Malcolm Reed, the most influential person in live fire right now.
Hands down, lead pipe lock. Yes, he is.
By the way, I'm very excited, and I forgot to mention it a bunch of times already. Programming note, as we all know, Malcolm Reed will be gallivanting around the desert plains of North Dakota next month. And sitting in for Malcolm Reed. Mark Williams? No. Rochelle Reed will be on the show. Her first ever outside of How to Barbecue Right podcast / live show interview ever will be done right here on the show by your humble host. So very excited. Was just notified moments before we went on the internet airwaves here that was going to be happening. So very excited about that. I forget where. So that was Doug, 100% yes, 100% no. Malcolm Reed, the most influential person in live fire right now.
1.8 million. Yes.
Wow. That's a high percentage. I couldn't possibly begin to name one other person that's remotely close. It's yes for me too. All right, Matt, why is Malcolm Reed substandard in your eyes?
So 0 digs against him, but
we don't qualify on this show. We are courageous. You just come out and say it. Don't bitch out.
Alfregoni, I believe right now is leading that way. He is international. Way more in a way that Malcolm
because he's from Argentina.
Because he has a more international market,
Doug's
and because
from Texas,
which is also internet. Because open fire and that segment is growing. That's where I get my basis.
All right, let's quickly go around the room. How high is Matt Osmond right now, Doug?
I think the smoke is coming out of his ears.
Right, Rusty? How high is Matt?
Dude, like high. That's
so high.
That's crazy.
So high. John, how high is Matt?
He just misguessed the gummy strength. It's okay.
No doubt. I think he's dosing fentanyl in large handfuls. I mean, come on, Matt. What are you talking about?
If I may interject to the previous one, about $1,500 to $3,000 from an electrician.
Right. Well, Doug is already on it, so we'll see if that number holds true as we pre-record the end of the year in December. We'll talk about that offline, guys. All right, 100% yes or 100% no, and we got to skip you. No, we'll stay with you, Matt. Greg will continue his hypocrisy and offer a Barbecue Central Show shirt in 2025, yes or no?
100,000% yes.
All right. Rusty, yes or no?
No, I'm going for 2027.
All right. At least we're putting a date on it. John, 100% yes or 100% no. I will continue my hypocrisy and offer a Barbecue Central Show shirt in 2025.
100% no, you will not.
Right. Doug? Shirt. By the way, nice shirt, Doug.
Thank you. I've got version 2, and Terry wants a shirt, so you absolutely you're going to do it next year for Terry.
All right. I can say this with 100% assurity, and I say it doubly to my pal, Terry.
Terry?
I am not. No way I'm going to do that again. It's a nightmare. Plus, I'm not going to make any money off you people. I just refuse to do it, so why bother? 100% yes or 100% no? Fuck you, Terry. 100% yes or 100% no? Let's go to Rusty. Rusty, I'm gonna back you up just for a second. We're gonna go to John first. Rusty's food truck podcast will stay updated this time, yes or no?
100% yes, Rusty. Don't let me down.
And I don't know if I've met a bigger fan of Rusty than John. Doug, 100% yes or 100% no? Rusty's food truck podcast will stay updated this time.
I don't know. You might have met the newest fan of Rusty. He is a new man. He is going to do it.
Right.
I've got confidence in him.
Matt?
100% yes.
And the correct answer is no. Rusty, 100% yes or 100% no? Your food truck podcast will stay updated this time.
It will stay updated 100%.
Right? Why?
Because I'm getting more and more people that are. I've teamed up with the Food Truck League here. They're providing me guests. They're helping me get booked out, and we're doing like when I do a segment, I do 2 in one day, so we have a bunch hyped up. And then if we don't have one, and I run out of stuff, I can do things on my own and give my own take on things, and at least have an episode that way. That's the plan.
All right, we'll revisit that next month as we pre-record for the end of the year. A couple more here. John, 100% yes or 100% no? Matt Osmond will see me in person before 2025.
Oh, before 2025? I'm going to go 100% no.
Doug?
I'm going yes. Y'all are going to meet.
Rusty, I will meet Matt before the year's out.
I would say too cold, maybe in the summer.
So no. Matt, will I meet you before the close of the year?
Unless you cancel on me, 100% yes.
I can tell you with 100% assured, barring death or dismemberment, I will absolutely meet Matt. Absolutely. Let us not get that confused with, will I be in attendance outside at a football game in December? That remains no. But we will meet anywhere in a toasty inside. Absolutely. 100% yes or 100% no? My question. Doug, Cleveland Cavaliers are the best team in the NBA right now.
With LeBron back and 17-1, sure, why not?
LeBron is not back, by the way. Matt?
100% no.
Rusty?
I hope so, man. Donovan Mitchell deserves it. I love him, and that's why I hope that they... And I'm going to say yes.
John, Cavs, best team in the NBA right now.
Absolutely. 100% yes.
Just being very emphatic, which I certainly appreciate.
I'm just waiting for the next one.
I don't even know how you can possibly... I don't even know how you can possibly say that they are not the best team right now. They have only lost once. Get the F out. They are the best team in the NBA right now. Without fail. And I'm going to the game tomorrow night and looking forward to that. Last question. John, 100% yes or 100% no. The Detroit Lions are the best team in football right now.
The Lions are what have made me an anti-sports person.
Yes.
I left the Lions at the Silverdome.
Yes.
I left with Barry Sanders. They are not. I refuse to believe it. They're not. They are not. They are not. They're not going to make it.
Andrew,
someone needs to stop them. Stop them.
Wow.
No. I hate them.
All right. Not okay. Doug, best team in football right now are the Lions.
Led by Dan Campbell, Texas A&M Hart Award winner in 1998. You damn straight.
All right. Matt, best team in football are the Lions.
No.
What a homer. Rusty.
Could he even spell NFL? Spell NFL, Matt. Okay. They lost Adrian Hendrickson. They lost Anzalone, and they're still dominating on both ends. They're absolutely, without a doubt, by far, not close, the best team in the NFL.
For all the reasons Rusty just mentioned, I happen to agree, and I'm a Browns fan, that they are... In fact, I became a Detroit Lions fan over the weekend. I quit the Browns fully, and now I'm a bandwagon Detroit Lions fan. And I'm going to get gear, and I never get gear, but I'm going to get a hat and maybe a starter jacket like I did in the 90s. All right. That's it. We have time for a promotion here, boys. So, Rusty, anything we're promoting before we let you go tonight?
Yeah, I can finally say that if you're into the food truck business and you don't want to be, you can be encouraged by listening to my podcast called On the Road to Food Truck Podcast. I'm also co-hosting the Right on Cue podcast every couple times a month, so check that out.
John, what are we promoting tonight?
The best moments of the Barbecue Central show in 10 minutes or less. Make sure you subscribe to the Barbecue Central show podcast feed. It's going to show up for you each and every Friday. Check it out this Friday.
Doug, what are you up to?
I'm 7 to 8. I listen to the Barbecue News Rub Awards, Rubs of Honor, and my Doug's Dust got 3 top 10 calls, 6 overall, and my all-purpose seasoning got #1 in seafood and 19th overall.
Really? #1 in seafood?
Yep.
That's weird. Why seafood?
Yeah, that's weird. It's weird. It was a category. I'm not sure. It has a chili powder on it is the first ingredient, so it's a little spicy. But yeah,
all right.
But I knew the Doug's Dust would do well. So.
We'll take the win. Matt, what are we promoting?
Thursday night after your turkey coma is over, watch the Miami Dolphins beat the Green Bay Packers 31-28.
Oh, we're giving a score too. All right, Doug. Before I let you go, do you want to share a quick few moments of recap meeting Sam the Cooking Guy again in person when I haven't, not even once?
You know what's so funny? He thinks we met before, but we've never met before. And yeah, it was actually a lot of fun.
What?
Yeah, he thinks we have, and I've told him no, but I just let him go on and think that. But yeah, it was a great time. His restaurant Basta was really cool, outdoor area, fire pit kind of stuff, and he was very gracious. It was great to see him in front of people, taking pictures, being genuine with people, and just, really kind to.
How recognized is he? Like, can you not sit there without him being interrupted every 5 or 10 minutes, or is it more frequent?
Yeah, it wasn't quite that bad, but people did want to come up to him, but if they did, he was very kind to him and took pictures and things like that. So yeah, it was very good.
Would that be annoying to you if that was you?
Yeah, I think that could get annoying, but I think he relishes. I don't relish is the wrong word. He accepts it, and basically that's just part of his job as being the owner of the business, and I think that helps bring people there. So he was very gracious, very humble, not like some of the people that become popular, etc. So it was fun. We'll do it again.
All right, boys, before I let you go here tonight, I want to take this time to say, as we approach Thanksgiving on Thursday, I want to thank each and every one of you for continuing to contribute to the show every month. Maybe sometimes it's a pain in the ass. Maybe sometimes it has a little bit of heartbreak, but hopefully it's mostly fun. And I continue to appreciate how we share our difference of opinions, but we're doing it all in the right way, in the positive ways, and bringing a form of entertainment that is second to none in this space. And you guys are a huge part of that. So I continue to appreciate that. And we will look to record a last one in December. There they are. The Embedded Correspondents right there. It's Doug below me. It's Matt to the right of Doug. And then right to the right of me at the top is Rusty. And then John to the right of him. And we have Utah and Michigan at the top, and Texas and Tennessee at the bottom row there. The guys over are the Embedded Correspondents. If you love that segment, look for them on the fourth Tuesday of every month. And you can hear us run through a new list of 100% surety questions and a growing list of other topics whenever we can seem to get to them, but we can never seem to get to them because we're doing it live. All right. All the way back in the first hour, we started with Steve Susnik, and then we moved our way over to Ted Conrad from Fireboard, talking about some wireless thermometers. And then the second hour, the Embedded Correspondents, of course, Doug Scheiding from Texas, John Solberg from Michigan, Rusty Monson from the great city of Utah, and Matt Osmond from Tennessee. As we end the YouTube poll question of the week, is Susie Bullock the most underrated live fire talent in the industry today? While the majority of us thought she was on the Embedded Correspondents dais, 56% of you in the YouTube voting public are saying no, she's not. That means you think somebody else is. So during the course of the week, you tell me who's more underrated than Susie. Big show planned for you next week. As I mentioned, making her debut appearance on the show, Rochelle Reed from the How to Barbecue Right podcast and associated YouTube channels, as Malcolm will be trying to take down a bison, which we'll talk about in January. Sam the Cooking Guy will be in, plus a host of others, so stay tuned for that. Hope you have a great Thanksgiving coming up in a couple days. You cook a turkey from completely frozen and it works out, let me know. If you do it and it doesn't work out, let me know that too. But do it the way Chris Young tells you to do it. Otherwise, you could be asking for trouble like Dave. So how do I always leave you? September 11th, 2001. I will never forget. Until next Tuesday at 9 p.m. Eastern, this is your program host and proud U.S. American, Greg Rempe, saying, Shamo! Shamo!
This is Chris Payne from Euclid, Ohio, and you are listening to Barbecue Central.